Territorial Imperium. Then Myson. African Genesis and Territorial Imperium. Zoologist and anthropologist Robert Ardrey was a researcher into animal behavior as it relates to the innate characteristics, his territory. An animal in the wild does everything to keep his territory. His life depends upon it. One can take Ardrey's research on the animal kingdoms and apply his finding to the human animal, humankind. He wrote African Genesis, 1961, and Territorial Imperium, 1965. Every person formally educated in animal behavior in America has read these books. At this time in America, 1960, Spanish and Asian surnames were less than 1% of the national census. These are excellent books and are required reading for those interested in the question, towards humans, do multicultural, multiracial societies last long-term? And if the answer is no, what happens next? To those who care about their kind, these are great books for understanding the answer to this question. The following quotes are from African Genesis and Territorial Imperium. Order and Anarchy. Nature, by instilling in the individual a demand for exclusive living space, ensures two consequences. First, that a minimum number of individuals in any population will be enabled to breed in relative security and pass on in fair certainty the conformation of their kind. And second, that the surplus will be cast to the wolves, to the owls, to the foxes, to the plagues and famines and lonely, unfamiliar places, there to make the most of perilous conditions or to die. One may conclude that in the eternal workings of natural selection, an instinct for order has been found superior to an impulse for disorder. If nature abhors a vacuum, it likewise abhors anarchy. No tribe could hold together if murder, robbery, or treachery were common. A tribe superior in patriotism, fidelity, obedience, courage, sympathy, mutual aid, and readiness to sacrifice for the common good will be naturally selected over that tribe poorer in these qualities. A free society inspired by the noblest of human motives, finding its citizens inspired by little but material success, will conclude that the satisfaction of economic wants is the sacred way to the ultimate temple. Conscience. Conscience is a two-sided coin, and one side is black. Territory commands unremitting hostility for territorial neighbors. The primate amity-enmity complex cannot exist without enemies. Conscience organizes hatred as it organizes love. And with the coming of the predatory way, the force of conscience has taken on an awful power lacking in the societies of non-aggressive primates. Conscience may direct the Christian martyr to die for the brotherhood of man, but that same conscience directs Christian armies to go forth and slaughter the same fellow man. I shall defend the white race against the black, stand for the Christian world against what I deem to be the godless, and oppose any adventures on the part of Rome which seem to threaten my Protestant preserve. And few other than my social partners will understand that in every instance I am acting according to my conscience. My conscience is provincial in nature, in that its origins are territorial. I shall invariably delude myself, however, that it is universal, and thus brings to my actions the authority of universal law. It does nothing, of course, of the sort. It commands me simply to act in the interest of my society or societies. My conscience is totally amoral. I shall delude myself that it directs me to act in the interests of human good, and well it may. But with equal force, it will direct me to act in the interests of human evil, if such evil is in the interest of my society. My conscience, I may tell myself, is my own. It is anything but my own. Nothing I seem to possess is so little my own. It is the exclusive property of those territorial or social institutions of which I am a part. The conscience of social man differs from that of the social animal in a way other than its complexity. Self-awareness presses us to identify our conscience with the highest power available. I do not tell myself that my conscience is the voice of America. I assume it to be the voice of God. Keeper of the kinds. He sits with head bent, silent, waiting, listening to the commotion in the streets. He is the keeper of the kinds. Who is he? We do not know. He cares only for order. But whatever he says, we shall do. He is rising now, in civilization's quiet back room, and he is looking out the window.